Hold on, this. Last week, how many of y'all enjoyed the message last week?
I did.
Did y'all benefit from it?
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all hear anything that y'all gonna apply to y'all lives and things?
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? We're gonna be part two of this message. This is gonna be part two, basically going back into it, going back over the same things, and I'm only doing this here because the Holy Spirit came to me and told me to do so. Because I was at work meditating early up in the week. I kept on hearing addresses. As I was meditating on the message, I kept on hearing addresses. Usually when I go over a message, it's rarely that I can just go back to things that I have said in that message, but through this teaching right here, God was showing me like certain things that I said in that message kept on coming up in my spirit. And I kept on getting in my spirit to address it. Then the word reiterate came to me. So when I looked that up, that says to state or do over again, or to say something again or in a number of times, typically to emphasize something or to bring clarity to something, so that you have a clear understanding of it. The word clarity stuck out to me. It's talking about being a clearness or understanding of to perceive something. So that's telling me that God really wants y'all to get hold of this thing. Remember when I told y'all last week that He had placed on my heart years ago when I ministered this message, that this is one of the most important messages y'all gonna ever hear concerning y'all salvation. I didn't say that it is the most important. All of it is important, but this is one of the most important. Because what we allow to come out of this thing right here, this hymn, can get us in a whole lot of trouble. We supposed to be speaking blessings and not curses and things, not coming against folks and stuff. We got to learn how to live in these bodies as God's children. Let me see. As I meditated, this is going to be dealing with Mark 4 and 16 through 17, where somebody sowing the word and thing, where he's talking about don't let it be that you receiving this word with joy, and then when persecution come up, you know what I'm saying, when people start to treat you bad or do you wrong and things, when you out here in the world on your jobs or in the grocery stores or in traffic, even your own family, when they start to do you wrong, that's persecution. Don't let it be that then you fall away on account of the word because you ain't got no root in yourself. And what he's saying then, that this word, when the word comes forth, you must allow this word to get rooted in you, to take root in your heart. You must allow it to come forth and be planted into the good grounds of your heart. So then when the test come on, you'll be able to stand up against whatever is coming against you. And he ain't playing with, I heard a whole lot of stuff this week that I didn't hear the week before. And even up until the time I walked in here and started ministering last week, I was back in the back room, thought I was finished, but I wasn't finished. He always got something to say. It's just the point of, are we willing to listen and adhere to it? I always remember this hymn. What you allow to come out of this right here can either draw somebody to God or push somebody away from God. And what we have to remember is that we are ambassadors, we are representatives of Christ here in this earth realm. And if we pushing people away, we're going to give an account for that there. You become a stumbling block to his kingdom, a defect. He can't use you. So we're going to go back into that revelation what God was giving me last week, where we was talking about when we came into the world, you know, we were born into sin because of what Adam and Eve did in the Garden of Eden. We were born into sin. We didn't come into the world knowing how to speak, how to talk. We didn't come into the world knowing words. Those words that we were formed out of our mouths had to be taught to us. And 9 times out of 10, it was by the person that raised you up. Mostly our parents and grandparents did that. In my situation, I'm an uncle to a lot of y'all, so y'all heard me talking too. but you know, like as far as parents and things, I don't know if anybody remember, Lee can remember, because when I used to have Nook throughout the day and stuff, and I'd be in his face constantly. I wanted to hear him say daddy first. So I'd be in his face saying dad all the time. And when she had the chance, she would be mama, you know what I'm saying? But I was persistent with mine. I'm going to stay in his face. And boy, when he said that, guess what? I made that phone call to her, to drive her with, you know what I'm saying, to get up and let her know that he had said that. But the thing he was trying to show was, when you're a baby and stuff, and you growing up, It's just like we are as adults and stuff in the church. We supposed to hear this word and hear this word. They was hearing words. He was hearing that daddy, and it went into the deep grounds of his heart and it got rooted in him. You know what I'm saying? What it say, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth gonna speak. So he was able to say dad because it got rooted in him and it came up out of him. Sooner or later, he was saying mama too on down the road. I don't know how long it was, but my only concern was I wanted him to say dad at first. Yep. And it goes on with every other thing that a child hear grown people say. If they hear you constantly saying words that we're not supposed to be saying, whoever these children are raised up around, whoever you letting your kids stay around. I'm a witness to this here because it happened with me. I heard a lot of ungodly talk. I ain't know nothing about God, but I heard a lot of ungodly talk when I was coming up. And that stuff was in my heart. And the more that I heard it, I wanted to say it. For some reason, it wanted to come up out of me. See, that it was ungodly talk, so it was natural for that nature to grab hold of it and want to act on it. That ungodly talk wanted to come up out of me, so I find myself sometimes saying things that I know that I shouldn't be saying. Yeah. Ask her about it. It was instilled in her to say things that she shouldn't say, but Daddy got her mind right quick. Got her mind right real quick. Popped for it, but and then like we try to chastise the kids for saying something that we ignorantly not instilled in them. Not knowing that what we said is going to be instilled in their hearts, and then it's the devil. He's teaching us how to sin. We're born into sin. He wants us to be an access to him. You know what I'm saying? Be somebody that's in position for him. He knows those words are going to tear somebody down the road. So he's setting us up. He's teaching us how to do this. We got to be careful with that. The child don't know nothing about God in their heart, but we do. We know about God in our heart, but we done been taught on this and now. How do we go with our hearts? If y'all was in last week, somebody should know something. How do we go with our heart? How do we stop things from going into our hearts that we don't want to be in there?
Stand around. Don't allow it.
Don't entertain it.
Come on, that's it. Whatever you allow yourself to hear, whatever you allow yourself to see, that stuff goes off into your heart. Hey, Britt, I ain't see you that good. You been in my face the whole time. Yeah, that stuff going into our hearts, you know what I'm saying? But a child don't know that, so a child is sitting there, and the devil know who to bring around that child. We went over the part about God's desire for us to know how to operate in these bodies and things. What he was showing, like, if your mind frame never changes, then the words that come out of your mouth will never change either. You're going to keep on saying things that keep you in opposition with God. And what we have to realize that we've been taught a thing that the tongue is full of power and full of deadly poison and things. We got to think about how small this thing is amongst the members of our bodies and things, but this thing right here holds the power to cast our whole body into hell because of what we allow to come out of it. We're going to go over here real quick to Matthew 12. Matthew 12 and 35 through 37. I'm going to go to the Amplified so we can go ahead and get through it. It says the good man from his inner good treasure flings forth good things, and an evil man out of his inner evil storehouse flings forth evil things. They're talking about, when they're talking about the storehouse, they're talking about the heart. But I tell you, on the day of judgment, man will have to give an account for every idle, inoperative, non-working word they speak. For by your words you will be justified and acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned and sentenced. If we acquitted, that means we're going to come up and God's going to tell the job well done, son, come on in. But if you got to stand for judgment for something, that means you're going to give an account for what you done said, what you done allowed to come out your mouth. That's why we, as God's children, we got to be careful what we entertain and what we allow to come out of our mouth towards people, because people going to do what they want to do, especially the peoples in the world. But we've been taught, God to place pastors here and ministers here in this earth to teach us how to live in these bodies. We can't just be going around interacting with any and everybody and thinking that every conversation that we can get in just because we know about it. Sometimes you got to shut up, and learn to be quiet. Even when people coming against you, doing things, saying things against you, you got to learn to be quiet. What Jesus did when they bear false witness against him. He didn't say a mumbling word to some of those things. He knew they were lying, but he had a mission. Guess what? Guess who else got a mission? If you saying that you're a child of God, you got a mission. That comes with we have to learn about putting this in up under subjection. That's the act or process of bringing someone or something under one's control. The Bible teaches us, you know what I'm saying, dealing with us sitting up in the church and stuff, to be quick to hear and slow to speak and slow to wrath, for the wrath of man working out the righteousness of God. Because you suddenly hear some things that's going to ruffle your feathers, that's going to rub you the wrong way. That word is as a two-edged sword and it's going to cut. But it all takes humility. If you say that you're a child of God, you got to humble yourself and be willing to sit there and look at this him. God corrects the ones that he loves, and he does that through them by the word of God. Now, if we know this, and we decide that the heart in our hearts from what's coming from the person who's standing up ministering, and you're supposed to be a child of God, but you rejecting his correction through and by this him, then whose child are you? That's something you got to answer within yourself, but don't worry. You ain't got to never say nothing out loud. Your action gonna show it. If you reject this him, holding your heart against this him, I'm up here telling you that God is wanting us to start watching what we say, watching what we entertain, watching what you allow to, you know what I'm saying, to go into him, and you like who he think he is. He human just like I'm human. Yeah, I am. But I'm striving to get somewhere that we ain't never been before. In order to get there, we got to do something we ain't never did before. We ain't never been saved. We saved now. And he want to show us how to live as being saved. That thing going to speak out. People going to be able to say, I ain't got to put a shirt on or a hat on to say that I'm saved. It's going to be something about me that tell people that I'm different. The way that I carry myself. The things that I allow to come out of my mouth and the things that I don't allow to come out of my mouth tells a person that, hey, that boy, that's saved. That boy different. He's peculiar. He's strange. Man, I would've. Yeah, you would've, but I can't. I can, but I can't. Just because I know how to cuss don't mean that I need to be cussing because I know the consequences of it. We got to put this thing up under subjection, put it under our control. Remember when those thoughts come into your mind, man, we had the power now to cast that mess down, to bind that stuff, to rebuke those thoughts, because if you don't, the devil going to have a fear that with you. He going to run you in the ground. That's why so many households are tore up now. What it says about your mind hold the thoughts before they ever come out your mouth. We went off into this last week. Some of us done got so good that we ain't even got to let words come out of our mouth. We good with them facial expressions. Rolling our eyes. You know the thought that be on your mind when you roll your eyes or you cut your eyes at somebody, you tune your lips up? The thought is just like you said. And then he said you're going to give an account for every idle thought. Those thoughts. Those are words that are in your heart. That's why they're in your mind. The devil wants you to bring them out because he knows once it goes forth, it's a seed and it's going to bring back a harvest. What it says in Proverbs 18 and 21, death and life are in the power of the tongue. And it says, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. I mean, when that word goes out, you're going to have a harvest coming back from that word that you're not allowed to come out of your mouth. Whether good or bad. That's seed time and harvest. And God's word going to stand. It don't lie. What he said, then he said his word going to go forth and serve his purpose and not come back unto him void. Didn't he say that? It's going to serve his purpose. So my thing is today, y'all going to get this today. If you didn't get it last week, if you were slipping on it last week, I guarantee some of us that went through the test already. I had my test this week. Just because you say it don't mean the thought of you cussing somebody out ain't going to come to your mind. It ain't going to come off your tongue. I can tell my faults. I done slipped up a gang of time. We all fall short of the glory of God. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't so, he wouldn't have it written. He can't lie. Don't never let somebody sit up and tell you that I don't do nothing wrong. The ones that claim to be all holier than thou? Yes. Nah. Sometimes I got to tell the truth to the point where he even exposes my wrong. This been weighing on my heart. It took me a minute. I told you about it. I don't know that I ever talked to Mika about it. But it was dangerous ground because I used to get cussed out when I was a child. And what it was, that was implanted into my heart. So my kids couldn't have been no more than about 2 or 3 years old. And every time they would do something I done told them don't do, and they come back and do that, that child, they're going to do it, mess up. I would cuss them out like they were grown people. They probably don't remember that because they were too little. But in 2004, when I got born again, God brought that thing to me and he showed me those are your babies. And I cried like a baby when he showed me that them. I cried like a baby. It hurted me because I didn't know no better. I done what was in me to do. I came out this room a couple weeks ago from about, I remember walking from back out of my room and that thought hit me, and I thought about, I must have been meditating on the message some, but I thought about what I had did, and my heart got heavy and my eyes watered up. Those are my children. Your kids are my grandkids. I'll never do anything to damage their spirit, to hurt them, to make them feel like I don't love them. You got parents that do that. Some of them don't know no better because they ain't been taught no better. But we know we being taught. We got to put it down the way that we being taught. Don't harden your heart against it. You may slip up sometime, but watch yourself because the devil will use your mouth to set your child up down the road where he's staging something. Them things become stronghold, man. I'm telling my bro, I was cussing so much before I got saved to the point I ain't got to be cussing you out. My conversation just consisted of me cussing, saying words, saying things that I ain't have no business saying. Come on, the devil, man. I was going to eat the fruit of that thing if I had not repented for it. Didn't it just say that we're going to eat the fruit thereof? I can't allow that to come out of my mouth. How can I come in and pray the prayer of faith? Blessing and cursing can't come out the same mouth. Trying to bless you, but I'm blessing you now and then behind your back, or we get mad until I'm cussing the skin off of you. It don't work like that. God is displeased. That's why I believe he's constantly bringing this thing back. I didn't pay attention to it when I ministered back in 2016. I ministered one week, and he brought it back to me to minister it again. I didn't remember that until I looked at the date today. There's something behind this message. We got to get it. Those facial expressions. Then, social media. Don't worry, because if you typing it, it came from a thought. It came out your heart. Oh, this just Facebook. It ain't this. Okay. Keep playing. Keep playing with yourself. Keep digging a hole for yourself and not knowing walking. God said he will not have us ignorant. Even with me sharing wisdom, it's going to line up some kind of way with the truth. That's wisdom. You don't do that. It's coming from your mind. It's coming out of your heart. You typing on the thing, you thinking what you going to say, so it's coming from you. You're going to have to give an account for that there. All them cuss words and stuff, when you get mad, you got time to think about that. You got time to think. God sitting there like, yeah, that's my child. But then you talking about God on the other days, but now you wondering why ain't nobody responding to what you saying. You're mad now, or people don't support their own people. Now, who you think want to support a hypocritical spirit? Come on. You walking in hypocrisy. I done had plenty of time to cuss people out. Done had the opportunity. I'm talking about, it was on my mind to do. You got to learn to back away, sit down, shut up, be quiet. Man, if I got to do that on here, I don't need to be on here. My point ain't that important. If I got to cuss you out, because it's people watching you, just like they're watching me, I'm a preacher. But if you say it anytime you go to church, you ain't got to never say I'm a Christian. Just say you go to church. The devil gonna make sure their eyes are on you. This now generation, not even just the younger generation, but the older generation too, older than me, sitting up there flipping people's off. Every time you look on Facebook now, somebody sitting there with their middle finger up. That's making a statement. That's saying something. And guess what? When I come on there, whether it be my son or my nephews or my nieces, if I come up under there and like that, I'm entertaining that spirit. I'm in agreement with what they're saying. We all know what the middle finger say, what it means. If you don't come to me out the church, I'll talk to you. That's making a statement. It says a lot about a person that does that. That's not representing God. You can't represent God in the devil. It's either or. Either you saved or you're not. That's not representing you being Christ-like. To be a Christian is to be Christ-like. You striving to be like Christ. How do you do that? Become a doer of whatever this word is saying for us to do and not to do. That's how you become like Christ. That's how you live a holy lifestyle. This is not pleasing to God. Matter of fact, it's a disgrace. And it says a lot about this generation. It says, what is that? Oh, I just said that part. We got to be careful, y'all. I remember back in the day when we were coming up, they had a saying about sticks and stones may break my bones, but word would never hurt me. The devil put that in somebody's heart. I don't know where it came from, but the devil had to put that in somebody's heart because we find out now that our word holds power. You can destroy a person's spirit. You can hurt a person feeling so bad to make them not want to live because of the things that you allow to come out your mouth. Excuse me, y'all. What it says, saying words that aim to hurt others and not knowing spiritually that you're really hurting yourself. Because God up there, he has a pen as a ready writer. You know, if you're making it a habit of knowing, he understands that sometimes we may slip up, but then you got to be, when you come and repent, man, you got to be sincere about that thing. Like you didn't mean it, you want to be, you already been delivered. Father, give me strength to walk in my deliverance. I'm delivered from it. He showed me something. Why would I be slipping up like that there? Well, son, I took the taste of alcohol out your mouth. I took the taste of cigarettes out your mouth. I stopped you from holding. That's your deliverance. You got the want to walk in your deliverance. You got the want. You ain't got to cuss just because you had the opportunity to cuss. Man, you have the opportunity to talk to other women. You have the opportunity to go in that store and buy you some beer and cigarettes, sell drugs and all this, but you don't do that no more because this is who you are now. Don't allow the devil to come in and trick you up with something that you done been delivered from to keep you off in there because it's going to hinder you. You can't move forward like that. You can't move forward in me. You tricking yourself up. If you grab hold of this message right here today, this what I'm telling y'all today, you won't be a hindrance to yourself. Because this him is a blessing blocker. If you let it open up and flop and say anything that comes to mind, you will never have what God said that you can have. That's including heaven, because heaven is a promise too. He's left us promises in this book, in this New Testament. But if you allow your mouth to come open, indulging in any and every kind of conversation, you blocking your own self. You blocking your own self. You entertaining spirit, demonic forces and things. What it is, tearing down the spirit of the very ones who are made in God's image. Who are they made in God's image? We all are. I love God, but I hate you. How can you love somebody that you ain't never seen and hate the ones who you have seen? That's reason. God said that you are alive. Yeah. And it ain't always that you saying that you hate people, but what you do, how you talk about them behind their back. You know, that's what the loyalty come in is. How you treat the person behind their back. That's what the loyalty and love really come in is. I'm a child of God, so what business do I have of tearing you down? Tearing you down, tearing you down. Tearing you down because you done did something that I don't like. Man, they did it to Jesus. He was setting the example. We are his disciples. He said if they hated him first, they gonna hate us. Don't be surprised when people come against you. And 9 times out of 10, the devil's gonna use people that know you, that they're supposed to love you, and think that you would never think they'll do you like that there. He gonna do that. Because he know if a stranger do it, you get over that devil. But if somebody that's supposed to love you, that's that impact. But then he teaches about forgiveness. If you don't forgive what?
You won't forgive for your sins.
I hope y'all don't think these just words in the book that he just said this to take up time. What he said that he's God, he's not man. He's not a man that he should lie. God is saying yesterday, today, and forevermore. What is written in this book, man, you're gonna have to stand under it. I don't care. It's not hard. What nephew said, it's hard to change, but he didn't have an understanding of that. You ain't got to change. You can't change yourself because if you did, you wouldn't need to go in the church. You wouldn't need to send Jesus into the earth realm. Sit under this word, humble yourself, take heed to it, adhere to what's being said. The word is going to change you. That's why I said your mind got to be renewed. It's going to renew your way of thinking. Degrading people, humiliating people by the things that you're saying, gossiping and lying and bullying people, bashing them up, spreading rumors, being perverted with the words that come out your mouth, provoking people. And even we can take jokes too far. We got to be careful. We children of God. Guess what? If you weren't a child of God, you wouldn't have came back to hear it again. You wouldn't have came back today.
Amen.
He corrects the ones that he loves. Obviously, he done put it in your heart. The devil probably fought you hard. Don't go today. Don't go today. The devil will fight you hard. But he said he correct the ones that I love. We his children, a parent going to correct their children because they don't want to see them continue to make a bad decision in life because ultimately it's going to turn out bad for that person. God is our Heavenly Father. He's our Heavenly Father. So he's going to correct us. And if you keep on going down the road, he's going to chastise you. He will whoop you.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. Trying to stay in line, but I got so much stuff go down here, boy. I think I could have wrote a dictionary on this. We sit up and get angry at folks because of how they done to us. It's just like this, and we don't have no control over that there, because what's in a person is going to come out of a person. A person can only be who they are. We got to do unto people as we would want them to do unto us.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say they're going to do us like we do them. But we got to do unto them. We got to show love to them. Even if they're not showing love. Even if they mean to us or whatever, we still got to continue to do this now. What he said, Jesus set the example. When them jokers were coming through there, he got on his cross and laid his life down for these people. He knew they was in trouble for saying and doing the things that they were doing, but God, he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Because when people come against God's children, they don't know what they doing. They really don't. They don't know the relationship that you have with God. They don't know the time that you're spending with God. You know, so the talks that you have with God, that you really not confess Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior. You believe that God raised him up from the dead. And the Bible said that you saved. If you're saved, then you his child.
Right.
So when they start to come against y'all, when they come against me, vengeance is mine. You ain't got to avenge yourself. I got it.
That's right.
Stop opening your mouth and putting your mouth on people, worrying about what somebody doing to you, doing behind your back and saying about you. Stop. Man, let God be God. Because the minute you step in trying to put your 2 cents in, you saying, God, oh, man, you can handle that. I got this. Oh, yeah. So get ready for the consequences behind.
Yep.
When my son was dealing with something a while back and it angered me, I'm coming across that highway and I said I can run into the dude who had did what he did. When I said that, the Holy Spirit instantly showed up. Is you want to handle this or you going to let me handle it? Instantly. He wasn't playing with me. You a preacher.
That's right.
Come on. Man, it get real out here. Though we walk in the flesh, we don't walk after the flesh. Close your mouth. If you're going to open up your mouth, pray for them. Stop gossiping. Stop tearing them down. Build them up. You know they're ignorant. They don't know, they unlearned. You sitting here, you didn't know what you know now.
That's right.
Come on. Man. Come on, Holy Spirit. We got to get it. It's life and death, and people don't look at it like that there. You ain't just going to church to say you went to church. What I said last Sunday, man, it's time for us to stand up and show the world that we're more than just Sunday church goers. It's time for the children of God to show the peoples in the world that the Spirit of God really dwells on the inside of us.
Amen.
When that happens, when he really dwells on the inside of us, it's going to be some, I can't say that. Even though I want to say, even though they cut me to the core, even though they talked about me, they made me look bad. Ooh, man. Ooh. Hey, yes, it get hard. They get hard. Man, maybe y'all ain't going through the same tests and trials that I go through. They get hard. People constantly coming against you. You know that was none of you when you was in the world, man. Nah, I wish you would.
Exactly.
That was, man, not what? Humility. Unless we become as children, we ain't gonna enter in.
Amen.
That means you got to humble yourself like a parent telling a child to do something. They gonna do it. But we so grown now, we don't want to listen. That head get hard when you're stuck in your own way.
Sure do.
Come on, Holy Ghost.
Right.
Man. So in Discord, I want you into it with that person because I'm into it with him. I want you mad at that person because I'm mad at him. I don't want you to like that person because I don't like him.
That's
So in Discord, go forth and teach our nation. Baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Teaching them to observe all things that I have shown you. It's my job to teach you.
That's right.
What he said to me last week. Just as they did Jesus. Some are going to accept the blessing, the message as a blessing and be blessed by it, and some are going to reject it because they are offended, not in me. Because when you offended in him, you offended in him.
That's right. That's right.
It's the same thing. Nothing new under the sun. Some of them were saved and healed and delivered and set free and filled with the Holy Spirit with the evidence because they accepted Jesus. But some of them was envious. They hated him for no cause, no reason. And they rejected him. They was offended in him because of what he stood for. But God, they father. Get out of here.
That's right.
You got a father, but it ain't God. Come on. A tree is known by the fruits that it bears.
Right.
What it says that when you're angry, you tend to sit up and think about what you're going to say. I'm talking about they just sitting there, it's just like you putting a pot or something on that joke, you done put all the seasoning in that joke and just let it marinate, letting it boil, letting it heat, just, there ain't nothing you put in the microwave, because the microwave ain't. Put that mud in the oven or something, so you can taste all the ingredients. That's what happens when you sit up there and you meditate on that mess that the devil done put in your heart. Come on, because it's building something. What I told you, when you sit there and you let that thing sit up, it begins to bake.
Right.
When something bakes, what does it do?
Expand.
Come on, you were listening, girl. Come on. That's what it do. What it say? Pressure busts a pipe. Sooner or later, the more you sit there and let it bake, them words get intensified. The more harmful and hurtful them words gonna be. And don't worry, you tearing them down, but don't worry, you tearing yourself down too, because you're gonna have to give up. You're gonna pay for that.
That's right.
We went over about every action don't deserve a reaction. Every conversation don't deserve your 2 cents.
That's right.
See, the devil just really want us saying things to people or about people to take us out of position with God. That's what it's all about on his end. He knowing one thing, that this right here can make you or even destroy you. And we sitting there, we just can't entertain no any and everything and thinking that it's gonna be all great on our end. Something. Oh, I knew something wrong. I knew. We're gonna go over here to Ephesians 4 real quick. I looked at that paper, but hold up, something will be beside that. The devil will try you. He wants you to miss something because he know God gave it to him, and he know if God gave it to him, there's a reason behind it. Somebody might leave out of him blessed today.
Amen.